what's going on? It's your boy here, Drew, back at it again with another episode of Dragstone Fishing TV. And I gotta tell you that we've been up to some really good work here in the lab when it comes down to fishing. So I want to talk about what I recently did, which was fish the Bassmaster Open on Santee Cooper as a co-angler. It was an amazing experience, and I'm going to talk you through the experience and why I think every serious fisherman should take advantage of doing a Bassmaster Open. So let's just get to it. So the entry fee was around $400 to do a co-angler, which wasn't bad. And I'm in Georgia, so Santee Cooper was about a 4.5 hour ride. It was a good drive too, so that was great. Plus we had lodging there already with family, so that wasn't an issue. So I really got there for just gas money and the entry fee. I already had all my gear, tackle. I already knew what I was gonna do. I game planned. I researched all the baits from the winters before, and I knew it was gonna come down to the Wacky rig for me, the Berkley General, the Young Woolly Bug, and I picked up a new couple of Demiki rigs in Green Pumpkin. Green Pumpkin was the key with the water being stained. They just wanted that Green Pumpkin, and then it really came down to, I didn't have this, but the pro gave me some that I was fishing with, which was a watermelon Green Pumpkin fluke with a spike the tail with chartreuse. And so let me tell you how it happened. And I'm gonna tell you first my day and then why I think it's important. So we started out, I first started with Blake Schroeder, big time MLF pro, several wins on tournaments, and he's awesome. We exchanged numbers at the end, and we're gonna stay in touch. He's coming out here to Georgia. We're gonna connect in April, so he's definitely dope. So we fished first day, and he was totally laid back. We talked about, you know, the casting lanes. He didn't really care, and he said his whole thing, hey buddy, we're gonna be around fish all day. That's how he talking. He's from Texas. We're gonna be around fish all day. Just be ready. And so we start out, and it's slow, because it's just early. The fish aren't really hitting yet. And I think I had the first bite. I missed him. I missed the first one. And then I think I missed another one. Our takeoff was 7:20, so that means we got to fish till 5:30, which was awesome. And so I fished, kept on fishing. I think I caught one on a Demiki rig, just throwing it and hovering it back from the bank. Caught a nice one. Then I caught another one, Demiki rig, flipped it in some brush and just hovered it back. He hit it. So I had two. And in this tournament, the co-angler just needed 3 bass to weigh in for the limit. Blake's a hammer, so he was committed to that chatterbait, throwing it out in the middle of nowhere and just pulling it back, which was frustrating for me sometimes because the water's 3 feet deep. I'm in the back of the boat. I can't see the electronics like he can, and he's just casting out in the middle of the lake, so we're not near structure. So at time, and you can't really drag because the water is only 3 feet deep, and there's a lot of hydrilla and eelgrass, so it's hard just to get cast in sometimes because it was because I couldn't know, I just was blind casting. So I was throwing the chatterbait to it sometimes, but I have no confidence in the chatterbait. I didn't practice with it. I don't really throw it that much. I'm working on it. So anyways, he then switched techniques up. He caught a couple biggins. He then threw on I had one on, but I took it off. He threw on it was a watermelon Green Pumpkin flake fluke. And he dipped the tail in chartreuse, and he was weightless on a Texas rig. No, actually, he put a nail weight in it, in the head. He just throw it out. He would just whip it and let it sink. Throw it out, and he just whip it. He would just take his time. And so he started catching a lot of fish on that technique. Because the water was stained, so you couldn't see the beds. So he was just fan casting, and he just let it sink and whip it. And so I was like, man, let me get, so we were cool. So he gave me a couple while we were out there. He's like, buddy, listen, man, you got a chance to win this thing. I'm gonna give you a couple of these flukes and see how they work for you. And this is in the middle of the tournament. He gave me a couple. Within 10 minutes, we were going past the spot in a little corner. I just flip it over there. I see the line just jump. So I just ripped the hook, whop, 4.5 pound bass, biggin, Santee Cooper biggin. So that was my limit for 3. I didn't get any more bites the rest of the day. I weighed in. First day I was in 25th place. So yeah, I know they pay the top 40 anglers or 35 anglers. So I was in the hunt, and he was like, man, you got a chance to win this thing, because it was tight. So the next day I ended up on the boat with Cliff Pace. That was an experience. Cliff Pace is a big time, full-time pro. over $1 million in earnings. And that was a totally different vibe. I mean, Cliff Pace is about business. And you know, and I expected that, you know, very much don't cast in front of the boat, nowhere near that. You know, if I tell you to get ready, make sure you're ready. Like just very much about the business, which kind of rubbed me some type of way early on. Because let me tell you what happened. So I came out with the same technique because my boy Blake was like, listen, man, you know how to catch and just do what you do. So I went out there with the fluke. I caught the first bass on Cliff. Nice bass. Did it again, caught another one. Then I missed 3 on the same technique. At that point, Cliff, like, I don't know, man, he just like switched gears and he started we are in those cypress trees, and there's times where I literally could not get a cast off. I mean, the way he was positioning the boat, it was like sometimes the branches be all up over here and I can't even flip in there. And it was a little frustrating at times because I literally, I mean, he's trying to win money, so I respect it, you know, so am I. And I respect the way he was fishing, because he started catching biggins. I think he had 19 pounds the second day. So he was working hard, and I mean, I get it. And so I had to figure it out. And so I had 2 fish in the live well. I needed 1 more. And, you know, I actually was catching so good at one point as far as like getting bites in with that fluke. He asked me for a pack of them in the middle of the tournament. So just like Blake did me, I threw him a few flukes and he started fishing that, on the base of these cypress trees, and he started having some success. So we started building some mutual respect in the boat. And then so this day we left at 6:15 for the blast off, I think. So it means we had to weigh in at 2:30. So at this point it's like 2:10. I have 2 bass and I literally cannot get a cast on anything without Cliff thoroughly working it. Because again, I get it, he's in the hunt and he's trying to go to day 3. And for co-anglers, we're over at day 2. So there's a tree to my left that's in front of the boat, but not past in his casting lane, I would say. And it's about 100 feet to the left. And I just chunked this wacky rig all the way to the tree. And it lands right on the base of the tree in like the perfect cast. I just feel that pop, pop, thump. And I rip him. And I set the hook, and it is a biggin. Like, mind you, we have to be in 20 minutes. I hook a biggin, and I'm just working him back to the boat. Man, I get him all the way to the boat, scoop him up. That's my 3.5 pounder. I go weigh in, I'm in 5th place. So I'm in 5th place, and I have to wait there till 5:30. I don't have to wait, but I wait till 5:30 because I wanted to leave with my check, and I wanted to leave knowing what place I finished in without having to keep on checking online while I was driving. Ended up finishing 15th place out of like 170 anglers or co-anglers. And so I ended up getting a nice check, which I framed at the house, and that was my experience with Sandy Cooper. And then afterwards, Cliff lightened up a little bit. He gave me a few of his custom baits that he makes in his black label brand. He has crankbaits, balsa wood, all this stuff. He gave me a few packs of stuff and some crankbaits. And so we, you know, we took a picture and all that type of stuff. So it was cool. And we ended up, you know, getting a good little bond there. So I think with that said, I think I would say, even though I won, I definitely won all my money back for the whole trip and all that stuff, which was great. To be able to watch those 2 professional anglers work the way they do, and then measure against my skills, because I've been doing this a long time as well. I think every bass fisherman who is thinking about tournament angling or has been tournament angling needs to fish a Bassmaster Open on a professional's boat, because then you'll know where you are. You'll know how good you are. You'll know how you stand. You'll be able to see how their fishing style relates to yours and vice versa. And so for me, even though I won good money, the experience was priceless. To see the relentlessness of guys staying on a spot, knowing fish are there, how to thoroughly work trees, the patience. I mean, the stuff I learned is priceless when it came down to it. Because there were times, I mean, even with Blake, I'm like, man, why are we fishing like this spot like this? And he just, all of a sudden, 5-pounder. And like, I mean, just the knowledge I learned in those 2 days was really valuable, and it's going to help me. So, because mind you, I was going to go as a boater, but I got waitlisted. And so I would say I'm glad I didn't go as a boater, in a sense of I wanted to learn from the pros. And that was an amazing opportunity for me. So the learning experience was fantastic. I recommend that everybody fishes a Bassmaster Open as a co-angler one time before you jump up to the big leagues. Because my next stop is Logan Martin as a pro. And so now I just know where I stack up, and I feel like I can win in any arena, as long as I have the time to practice and stay true to what I like to do and fish. And one thing Blake told me was, man, just throw what you're confident in. Throw what you're confident in that you know you can catch them on, and you're gonna do good. And I did, and that's what I did, and I held it down, and I think I can compete at that level now. So that's my next step. But I wanted you guys to know that if you go out there, literally just give it a shot. I know it's a little expensive. That $400 entry fee is a lot, but the learning experience you get from those pros is priceless. I mean, Scott Martin was out there. You get to see all these big time guys, and you're just like them. And you mess around and get on one of their boats too, man. Like, you're gonna learn so much. And I'm fortunate to be on 2 big time pros boats, and that was really, like I said, that part of the learning experience was amazing. So y'all, listen, stay tuned. I'm back at it. I had to take a little time off because I've been fishing a lot. But again, my name is Drew, Strike Zone Fishing. I'm out. Peace.